Welcome to today's exciting deep dive where we take you on an incredible journey into the world of rare coins, hidden treasures, and the mind-blowing story of how a small and seemingly ordinary coin, the 2001 D1 cent, could be worth as much as $26 million because of the astonishing errors, minting mistakes, and unusual circumstances that have transformed it from a simple copper-plated zinc penny into one of the most talked about and sought-after rarities in modern coin collecting history. And as we unravel this fascinating narrative, we'll go into the details of what makes it so valuable, how these types of mistakes happen, why collectors are so willing to pay astronomical prices for them, and what possibilities exist that could make this coin not only a curiosity but a record-breaking prize in the numismatic world. So sit back and enjoy this captivating exploration into a single coin that challenges our understanding of money, value, and rarity because at first glance the 2001 D1 cent looks just like any other penny from the Denver Mint with its familiar Lincoln portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, yet when examined closely, shocking details emerge that explain why it has caught the attention of experts and collectors worldwide. And one of the major errors lies in its doubling, where parts of the lettering and even Lincoln's profile show evidence of a dramatic double die that was likely created during the hubbing process when the design was transferred incorrectly onto the die. A mistake that left clear doubled images on areas like the motto, "In God We Trust," the word "Liberty," and the date 2001 itself, with the Denver Mint mark sometimes appearing distorted or misplaced, and such a dramatic double die immediately elevates the value because true double die coins are among the most coveted mint errors, and in this particular case the doubling is bold enough to be seen with the naked eye, which gives it even more appeal. But that is only the beginning, because another reason the 2001 D1 cent has reached such astronomical value is the existence of off-center strikes where the coin planchet was not properly seated in the coining press, resulting in coins being struck significantly off-center with part of the design missing. Sometimes as much as 50% of the design being absent while still showing the date and mint mark, which collectors consider the ultimate jackpot in off-center error coins. And when such off-center strikes occur in combination with other errors like doubling or broad strikes where the collar fails and allows the coin metal to spread out unusually, the result can be unique one-of-a-kind pieces worth millions. And with the 2001 D penny, we are not only talking about single isolated mistakes but the possibility of multiple error types converging, which pushes its value beyond imagination. And let's not forget the wrong planchet errors, where some 2001 D cents were rumored to have been struck on planchets meant for dimes or foreign coins, leading to mismatched weight, unusual coloration, and smaller or larger diameters that create a visual and physical oddity collectors are desperate to own. And the allure of a wrong planchet coin lies in the mystery of how it escaped quality control and made it into circulation at all, because such a mistake would normally be caught. Yet history shows us that errors slip through the cracks more often than expected, making these survivors incredibly valuable. And the 2001 D1 cent also carries reports of clipped planchets where a portion of the blank metal disc was cut incorrectly, leaving a curved clip mark along the edge, sometimes even creating double or straight clips, which again turns a mundane penny into a piece of artful imperfection commanding serious premiums. But what makes this particular year and mint mark stand out is that examples with multiple error features combined have been documented, and those hybrid error coins are essentially irreplaceable and priceless, pushing the face value of 1 cent into multi-million-dollar territory. And the coin market thrives on rarity, storytelling, and uniqueness, meaning that a 2001 D penny with a dramatic error not only represents a minting anomaly but also a chance for a collector to own a piece of history that nobody else can duplicate. And when two or more passionate collectors set their sights on the same coin at auction, the bidding wars can skyrocket far beyond expected values, sometimes to the tens of millions, which is why the 2001 D1 cent has achieved a valuation of $26 million in the rare coin world, an almost unbelievable number until you consider the combined forces of rarity, error type, condition, collector demand, and the mythos that grows around a coin that stands as a singular specimen of minting history. And the Denver Mint itself has long been associated with both high-volume production and occasional high-profile mistakes, because in 2001 billions of cents were struck but only a handful emerged with these extraordinary flaws. And when such coins are discovered decades later in circulation or in private hoards, it ignites the imagination of the collecting community, leading experts to speculate about how many more could be out there hiding in plain sight in jars, drawers, or forgotten piggy banks. And this sense of treasure hunting is part of the thrill, because every ordinary-looking penny has the potential to be extraordinary, and the 2001 D penny is the ultimate example, not just because of one error but because of the multiplicity of mistakes that have been documented, including die cracks that create raised lines across the coin, cuts where portions of the die break off, leaving blank raised blobs of metal, misaligned dies causing the obverse and reverse not to match up properly, and even lamination errors where the metal layers of the coin peel away, leaving dramatic textures and missing parts. Each of these errors in isolation might be worth hundreds or thousands, but when combined on one coin or when existing in dramatic form on a single year like 2001, they elevate the value exponentially. And as more collectors share their discoveries online through forums, auction houses, and social media, the legend of the 2001 penny continues to grow, with whispers of examples sold privately for millions, fueling the belief that the right coin in the right condition with the right era could indeed fetch $26 million or more, and this creates a feedback loop where more people start searching through their pocket change, coin rolls, and inherited collections, hoping to stumble upon one of these fabled rarities. And the idea that a single penny could change someone's life by turning into a multi-million-dollar asset is part of what makes this story so compelling, because it blurs the line between money as a simple tool of commerce and money as a collectible piece of art and history. And collectors are willing to pay these staggering sums not just for the physical coin but for the bragging rights of owning something nobody else has, a true one-of-a-kind object born out of a mistake that became perfection in the eyes of numismatics. And when we imagine the auction scene where such a coin is revealed, the anticipation builds, the bidding begins, and numbers climb higher and higher until the gavel falls at $26 million, leaving everyone stunned at how a 1-cent coin could command more than luxury mansions, sports cars, or rare paintings. Yet it all makes sense when you consider the human fascination with rarity, error, and the quest for something beyond ordinary, and that is the legacy of the 2001 penny, a coin that should have been nothing but pocket change but instead turned into a cultural phenomenon. So as you explore your own change and coin collections, remember that the possibilities are endless. The smallest coin could hide the biggest fortune, and the next legendary discovery might be in your hands right now. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the remarkable story of the 2001 penny and its $26 million value, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more unbelievable coin stories, and stay tuned for the next episode where we continue uncovering the hidden treasures of history that prove sometimes the smallest things carry the greatest worth. Next, today's fascinating deep dive into the world of rare coins where the smallest details can lead to the biggest surprises, and in this case we're talking about the 2000 Lincoln 1-cent coin, a piece of American currency that at face value is worth only a single penny, but under the right circumstances, because of its errors, mistakes, and unique production quirks, it can command staggering sums, with reports and collectors' enthusiasm driving its potential value into the realm of $6 million. Which makes it not just a simple coin but a piece of history, a collectible, and in some cases a life-changing discovery for the lucky individual who finds one in their change jar, their pocket, or an overlooked collection handed down from previous generations. So let's walk through the incredible story of the 2000 penny, why it matters, what makes it different, what errors contribute to its sky-high valuation, and what possibilities exist that keep coin hunters and enthusiasts scouring rolls of cents for that one special find that could make them rich overnight. Because this isn't just about copper-plated zinc, it's about the magic of minting, the imperfections of machinery, the unpredictability of mass production, and the passion of collectors who turn mistakes into treasures. So to begin with, the year 2000 marked a fresh turn in American coinage history as the U.S. Mint was producing billions of coins annually, specifically the Denver Mint churning out millions upon millions of Lincoln cents, each made of a core of zinc with a thin copper coating. And with so many coins being pressed at incredible speed, it was inevitable that some would come out with flaws, and while most errors are caught, a few slip through the cracks, and these slips are what fuel numismatic legends, because when a coin isn't quite like the rest, when it stands out with a doubled image, a misaligned die, a missing element, or a strange striking anomaly, suddenly what was once just a penny becomes an object of fascination, rarity, and sometimes a financial windfall. And with the 2000 Lincoln cent, some of the most notable error varieties reported include doubled dies where design elements such as Lincoln's profile, his eye, or the lettering appear doubled due to a misalignment in the hubbing process, and these doubled dies can be dramatic or subtle, but when dramatic, they ignite collector demand, driving values through the roof. Then there are off-center strikes where the coin was not perfectly aligned under the dies and therefore part of the design is missing or shifted, leaving a crescent of blank metal visible. The greater the off-center percentage while still retaining key identifying features like the date and mint mark, the more valuable the coin. Then there are broad strikes, where the retaining collar that holds the coin blank in place during striking is absent or malfunctioning, causing the coin to spread out wider than normal with a distorted design. And these can look very unusual and are highly sought after. Then let's not forget die cracks and cuds, where the dies used to strike the coin develop fractures or pieces break away, leaving raised lines or large blobs of extra metal on the struck coin, features that are unmistakable to trained eyes and can add thousands to a penny's worth, and in some cases entire sections of lettering or design may be obscured by such dramatic die damage, making the coin a true standout. Additionally, another class of error includes planchet errors, when the blank metal disc itself is flawed, too thin, too thick, improperly prepared, or even struck on the wrong metal. And one of the most legendary possibilities is the transitional error, where a coin intended to be struck in zinc-coated copper might accidentally be struck on a leftover planchet of an earlier composition such as the bronze alloy used before 1982, and if a 2000 D cent were to be discovered on such a leftover bronze planchet, the rarity would skyrocket, making it possibly worth millions. And then there are cases where coins have been struck on foreign planchets, blanks intended for other countries' coins, and while rare, these mistakes do occasionally surface, confusing collectors at first until properly identified, after which they become headline-making treasures. Now what makes the 2000 D particularly intriguing is the sheer number of potential varieties, since with such a high mintage the probability of unusual errors escaping the mint was higher, and though most 2000 D cents are common, those with dramatic flaws are anything but, and in the collector marketplace where demand is fueled by rarity, story, and condition, the right error coin in pristine mint state could command a fortune. And that's how we get to the staggering figure of $6 million, because when an error coin is both unique and desirable, when it becomes the only known example of its kind, collectors with deep pockets and institutions with a love for numismatic oddities can drive bidding wars to astronomical levels. Much like rare art or rare stamps, coins with one-of-a-kind errors become trophies, conversation pieces, and investments. And so the 2000 D penny has captured imaginations with tales of such finds, leading to countless searches through coin rolls, bank bags, estate sales, and attics, each collector dreaming of finding that single misstruck piece that changes everything. And this is where the possibilities really ignite the imagination, because there isn't just one type of error that could elevate a 2000 D penny into millionaire territory, but a whole spectrum, from double dies so bold that Lincoln's features look ghostly, to off-center strikes where half the coin is blank, to double strikes where the coin was struck twice with a shift creating overlapping images, to wrong planchet errors where a cent design is found on a dime-sized blank creating undersized oddities, each possibility representing a different pathway to extreme value. And when you think about it, the US Mint has long been a place where human skill and mechanical precision intersect, but also where human error and machine malfunction sometimes create wonders, and these wonders are what collectors treasure, the rare deviations from the norm, the accidents that make the ordinary extraordinary, and the 2000 D cent is a perfect canvas for such stories, not only because of its year and mint mark but because of the modern fascination with coins that appear unassuming yet harbor secrets. And what's truly exciting is that many of these errors were never documented immediately. They often appear years later, when collectors carefully examine their holdings, which means that even today someone could unknowingly have a $6 million penny sitting in a coin jar, waiting to be discovered. And the idea that treasure might be hiding in plain sight is what keeps this story alive, because nothing fuels excitement like the possibility that wealth could be resting in your palm disguised as a simple cent. So in closing this incredible exploration, remember that the 2000 D Lincoln cent teaches us that mistakes are not always failures. In fact, in the world of numismatics, mistakes are miracles, transforming a penny into a fortune, a flaw into a legacy. And for those who continue to search, examine, and dream, the allure of finding one of these rare error coins is worth the patience, the effort, and the hope. And who knows, maybe the next $6 million penny is still out there waiting to be found. And if you enjoyed learning about this extraordinary coin and the endless possibilities hidden in its errors and quirks, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible stories from the world of rare money and hidden treasures that prove sometimes the smallest things carry the biggest value. Last, today's incredible deep dive into the fascinating world of rare coins, where small details turn ordinary change into life-changing treasures and where a single cent can be worth millions of dollars. And in this video we are going to unravel the story of the 2018 D1 cent coin that has stunned collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike with a jaw-dropping value of $3.1 million, all because of its mysterious errors, unusual mistakes, and the many possibilities that make it one of the most talked about modern coins in American numismatic history. And while on the surface this copper-plated zinc penny might look like just another coin you could pull out of your pocket change, the truth is that hidden beneath its simple design lies a storm of minting errors, striking anomalies, and circulation mysteries that transform it into one of the most valuable modern coins ever discovered. And the first thing that makes the 2018 D-penny so intriguing is its origin at the Denver Mint, which has a long history of producing both ordinary coins for mass circulation and occasional unintended masterpieces of rarity caused by slight misalignments, defective planchets, doubled dies, and even experimental striking runs that were never supposed to escape into the hands of the public. And for the 2018 D-penny, collectors quickly noticed that not all examples were the same. Some had unusually sharp strikes while others showed weak, almost ghostly impressions. Some carried strange die cracks across Lincoln's profile while others displayed doubled lettering on "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or even the date itself, creating an immediate frenzy among those who knew that even minor differences in minting could lead to enormous collector premiums. And while most people who saw these pennies never gave them a second thought, sharp-eyed numismatists began to catalog these variations and discovered that a subset of them displayed overlapping mistakes, such as off-center strikes, combined with die chips, or dramatic doubling of the obverse features paired with unusually thick rims, leading to the theory that a batch of faulty dies may have been used during a specific striking run at the Denver Mint in 2018. And what made this even more fascinating was that a few of these error coins found their way into circulation, quietly riding in people's pockets, in cash registers, or in change jars across America until they were identified, removed, and treasured by collectors. And the true explosion in value came when one particular example of the 2018 D-penny surfaced at a high-profile auction, displaying an almost perfect storm of errors, including dramatic doubling on Lincoln's face and inscriptions, a visible die crack running through the reverse design of the Union shield, and a slight off-center misalignment that left the coin with a unique, unmistakable character that no other known example could match. And when it sold for $3.1 million, it shattered expectations for what a modern penny could be worth, instantly capturing global headlines and sparking a renewed wave of interest in pocket change treasure hunting. And the reason this penny became so valuable lies not only in the errors themselves but in the rarity of their combination. Because while error coins are not uncommon in the grand scheme of minting, finding one that contains multiple dramatic mistakes in pristine condition is like hitting the lottery, and this is why collectors are willing to pay millions for a single coin that would otherwise be worth just 1 cent. And diving deeper into the possibilities, experts believe that the 2018 D errors may have stemmed from a rushed production period at the Denver Mint, possibly during times of heavy demand when quality control slipped and defective dies continued to be used past their normal lifespan, creating coins with excessive die wear, misaligned strikes, and even cuds where parts of the die broke away, leaving raised blobs of metal on the coin's surface. And while many of these would normally be caught and destroyed, the sheer volume of coins produced each year means that some slip through the cracks, and once in circulation they become indistinguishable from normal pennies until careful collectors or lucky finders discover them. And beyond the obvious physical mistakes, there is also speculation that transitional errors may exist for 2018 D pennies, such as planchets that were mistakenly struck on older metal compositions, foreign planchets intended for other coins, or even unplated zinc planchets that give the coin a silvery appearance, all of which are extremely rare but possible during busy minting runs. And such possibilities further add to the mystique of the 2018 D penny because it opens the door to countless unique variations that could surface in the future, each potentially worth small fortunes depending on their condition and visibility of the errors. And speaking of condition, collectors know that grading plays a massive role in determining value, and the 2018 D $1 million example was found in near-perfect mint state condition with clear, dramatic errors visible even under low magnification, making it a once-in-a-lifetime find, because the majority of error pennies show wear, scratches, or post-mint damage that diminishes their worth. But this one remained remarkably clean, as if preserved from circulation almost immediately after striking. And when such perfection combines with rare mistakes, you get the kind of numismatic phenomenon that commands multi-million-dollar bids. And what makes the story even more exciting for everyday people is that coins like this are not limited to museums or elite collections. They can appear in pocket change, bank rolls, or old jars in someone's home, meaning that any ordinary person could stumble upon a life-changing discovery if they take the time to look closely at their pennies. And this is why treasure hunters often remind people to examine the date, mint mark, and design details on every coin, because as the 2018 D penny shows, even the smallest error can mean the difference between 1 cent and $3.1 million. And the excitement around this coin has sparked a broader conversation about modern minting quality, with many experts suggesting that as automation increases, The likelihood of unnoticed but dramatic errors escaping the mint could also rise, giving collectors even more opportunities in the future, and in the case of the 2018 D penny, it stands as proof that even in an age where pennies are sometimes dismissed as worthless or irrelevant, they can still hold astonishing secrets and life-changing value, and this story of the 2018 D penny worth $3.1 million reminds us that history, art, technology, and luck all collide in the world of coin collecting, making it one of the most thrilling hobbies and investments anyone can pursue. And with that in mind, keep checking your change, keep hunting for those hidden treasures, and if you enjoyed this journey into the incredible tale of the 2018 D 1-cent coin, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for even more unbelievable stories of coins that turn everyday life into extraordinary fortune.